welcome to the Self Checkout Show. I am your host, Pastor Will, along with my beautiful co hosts, Crystal and Dr. Nancy. Good evening, ladies.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Oh, man, we're back. It's been two
A couple of
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah.
In a couple of weeks, we have been off the air. Week one was vacation.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were in Miami, I
Yes.
was in Palm Springs.
Uh-huh.
Nevertheless, everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
Y'all had about 800 people down there.
Woohoo! We did.
So, for those of you who are, I see you guys coming in. Good evening. You all know the drill. Come in, come in, come in. Drop a comment. Let us know that you are here and hit the share button.
Share,
That's what we
share.
do every Monday night that we're on. Come in, leave a comment. We want to know you are watching and share, share, share. Um, while we were off, people, as I said, Dr. Nancy and Crystal, they were all in Miami, and some wonderful things happened down there
Yeah.
while we were on vacation. Dr. Nancy, you care to share the news with our viewers?
Well, of course. So my baby girl is officially, I don't even know if to say it's officially because she's been officially for a little while, but
Well,
she
yeah.
is degreed and all. How about that? And
Yes.
has crossed the stage. She has taken that walk.
Yes.
And she is officially Dr.
Yes.
Kiara Lurleen Wallace, practicing in obstetrics and I got all tongue.
Gynecological.
Thank you. Medicine. I got all kinds.
Be a doctor.
Listen, I've been saying it. I guess I said it one too many times now.
Too many times.
But she is
Just say she a lady doctor.
right. She is the girl doctor, lady doc.
Right. And not only did that happen,
Not only did that happen, but her boyfriend then proposed to her, and now they are fiancés. So she
there you go.
so we're looking forward to that as well.
So
A
she
lot
got a
happened.
double down
Yes.
there in Miami. She graduated from college as a doctor and picked up her old fiance.
Hey now.
All right, Dr.
I'm
Key.
on a finger. That's right.
A rock.
We are
Yeah.
extremely happy. Yeah, I saw that old ring. He did good.
He
Yeah,
did
that's
well.
good.
Yeah, he did good. We are happy for her. Congratulations to Dr.
Thank you.
Kiara.
Thank you.
So you guys, while you all were down there, I was in Palm Springs, and all I can tell you is that it was very, 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 very hot.
Listen, we
Hot,
like the
hot,
heat.
hot.
We
We
do.
like
But
the heat.
I do like it. But I'm gonna tell you that West Coast heat hit a little different. I think.
It's a little
Um,
different.
I don't know what the difference is, but that sun was abnormally hot.
We was in the desert.
Well, that would explain it then. Yeah, I was in a desert, but it was a beautiful place, and I would love, love, love to go back there one day. Because it's a lot more that I want to see and experience there. But we had a great time. Everybody had a great time while we were off. Again, the first week we were on vacation. The second week, last Monday was Memorial Day, so we were
Yeah.
just kind of relaxing and chilling and enjoying our day. But we are back tonight, and we are glad to be back um, on the show.
Yes.
Now, trending today was something I found today that really, really tripped me all the way out.
Oh.
Yeah, take a listen at this. The bride is beaming, but her new husband's just phoning it in.
I saw that.
Rather than throwing rice at a newlywed couple in in celebration of recent wedding, some skeptics throwing shade. After the distract groom was allegedly caught texting someone as they strolled down the aisle after saying "I do."
Yes.
This marriage is over, predicted an outraged commenter on Twitter, where he reposted TikTok footage of a happy husband That video has gained over 40 million views so far. Another person said, "This is insane, disrespectful, and condescending,
Whew.
totally uncalled for." So, guys, they said allegedly, but it's not alleged. The video speaks, shows it all. If you watch this video, as soon as this dude said "I do," they said "I do," you may kiss the bride. Then they turn around and the officiant says, "I now present to you Mr. and Mrs. Such and Such." They begin to walk down the aisle. This guy pulls out his phone, and as he's walking,
Mm-hmm.
he's texting somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, that's for me. That's a big no. Now, when they got outside, the bride appears to confront him about his
Mm.
phone file. But rather than apologize, we don't hear anything. We see what happens. Rather than apologize, he grimaces in frustration, seemingly prompting his new wife to drop the issue and just fake like happy. But did the
Wow.
wedding watchers
Wow.
weren't buying it. One person said, "Imagine on your day not being happy. This man was either forced or doesn't love this lady. Why get married then?" And another viewer said, "Get in the know now." Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. Is that a red flag or just, "Hey,
It was already
mama,
a red flag.
how
There
are
was a red
you?"
flag before that day. That was a red flag before that day.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just obviously disrespectful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. There's really no other way to put that. This dude so disrespectful. You
Mm-hmm.
why is your phone even in your hand at this point?
Why? Why did he even
Mm-hmm.
reach
Why
for it?
would that be something you take to the altar?
He should have been caught up in everything that was going
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Why would he even think of his phone?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Uh, hey, Latrice, how are you? Good evening. Red flag, indeed. Yes, it is. Because I'm like, bro, you can wait till whenever. I don't even care if you
So
texting
let me
somebody
ask
to
the
say,
question.
"Hey, I did it."
Let me ask you a
That
question
can
because
wait.
you asked, Will, was it a red flag? And Latrice says it's a red flag indeed. What exactly is the flag?
There's no flag.
Um.
You married him.
I,
Ain't no
Oh
flag.
well. Yeah, I see.
and,
I see your
and like
point.
Crystal said, it was going the
It was going
disrespect
on
and the
prior.
disregard was happening before you said I do. So what we flagging now? We both said I do. He's doing this. What's the red flag?
It's your life
Yeah,
now. It's
I
your life.
it's yeah, yeah. But he
Mm-hmm.
did that. Word to the wise, to you boys and girls
Pay attention before the I do.
You better pay
who
attention before the I do.
plan on getting married. If
Oh,
you
did you get
do,
the bag?
Cookie break.
oh look, see, mama, see, she got your cookies. She got your cookies, right there. If you guys plan on getting married, what you don't want to do
Mm.
is ha- you don't even have your phone. Why you got your phone with you right now at the
Let-
altar?
Let's go before that. If you plan
Okay,
on getting married, don't put up with
With
stuff
this,
that
that's
you
right.
don't want going on. You don't
That's
don't
right.
put up.
That's
well
right.
then there's that. Yeah,
That's right. Because he
yeah,
did it before that moment.
Hmm.
He like Crystal said, he did it at some point before that moment.
Absolutely.
And
And
so the fact that
regularly.
she even said something to him and he responded the way he did lets you know that again, it's happened before. You ain't said nothing before now. So what you mad about it now for? Or her?
Exactly.
Because I don't want to hear what you got to say. And
yeah,
he's done all of that before that moment. So
Mhm. Oh
absolutely.
well.
So
Good
that
luck,
was a
y'all.
that's a no. I can't ride with nothing he would have to say
so true.
about that. No
So true.
texting while getting married. Okay.
None. None.
Um, well, guys, as you know, we started a new segment about a month ago, and called "Dear Doctor Nancy," and I'm trying to tell you that I have to remember. Side note: I have to remember that my producer is here tonight. I have gotten used to pressing buttons,
Oh.
and my producer is here, so I need to stop pressing buttons.
I was gonna say, you pressing buttons too?
Oh, so this in this segment, ladies and gentlemen, we hear from real life people who have real life situations in their relationship. And what better person to ask than the relationship counselor herself, Dr. Nancy Murphy, who her and her husband, of course, are marriage counselors, and I like to call them relationship experts.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, listen to this. Oh, wait, come back to me now. All right, here we go. Dear Dr. Nancy, I am married with children. Was happy to get married. Everything was going great. But I don't think I'm any longer happy. Nothing has happened to my knowledge. There is no abuse of any sort. I don't believe there has been any infidelity on either part. However, I feel like marriage has drained me. I
Mm.
feel like I am no longer who I used to be. I do not like to come home. I love my children. I love my spouse, but I don't love the idea of being married anymore. What am I to do? I've done all I think I can to prove that I should stay. However, I feel like running away. Again, I love my spouse. Dr. Nancy, please help. Sign, get this. What's love got to do with it? Oh
I loved
boy.
it. I
Dr.
loved it.
Nancy, have at it. It's yours.
Well, what's love got to do with it? Love has a lot to do with it. I love the fact that while you were writing your letter, writing your memo, your note, and you continue to say you love your spouse. That's most important. And usually, when we begin to counsel, that's actually how we start our counseling sessions. Whenever a couple comes to us, we want to know if you still love each other and if you want your marriage. That's most important. I think that when we find ourselves with children, we've gotten married, we've been married for some time, we can begin to get a little bored, right? We can begin to see some stagnation in the marriage because everyone's gotten comfortable. Everyone kind of gets content. And especially when there are children involved, because guess what? Now life is happening and the attention now shifts from the couple becoming one to us having to raise these little people and making sure that these little people become responsible people, that they're bathed, that they're fed, and all the other things that goes along with growing and transitioning. But I also think that it's very important that couples remember that at the end of the day, when those little people grow up and are gone, guess what? You'll be in the house with that other person that you have now become two ships passing in the night with. And now you all will have to learn each other again. That's why it's so important that you purpose to have date night at least once a month. If you can't do it every week, purpose to have date night. You've got to be purposeful in your relationship to keep the fire burning and to kindle the fire whenever necessary, which means you got to throw another log in there every now and again, spice that thing back up, try something new, go to a different restaurant, go to a new vacation spot. Heck, just take a night or a weekend off and go to the hotel. You all learn how to massage one another. There are different things that you can do to rekindle the fire in your marriage. And always remember why you love each other. That's going to be the glue that makes it stick for the both of you. So, my biggest thing would be to just spice it up again, one way or another. Find something new that neither of you have done before and do that together.
Um, of course, I love your response, but I have a question about that. While we're on this subject, when I got the message about um for you tonight, I thought about something I posted on Facebook a few days ago. Last week it was um that says, I'm trying to get back to it. Hmm. Okay. Good evening, Stella. How are you? I posted on Facebook, you're staying in a relationship for the kids, but the house is on fire.
But really, she's not staying in the relationship for the kids and no, the house isn't on fire because there's nothing wrong. She said more than once she loves her husband. So because she loves her husband, then there is yet a relationship there. There is still a
Mm-hmm.
marriage there. It's just, again, okay, we've become content, and it
Mm-hmm.
happens when you're married that you become
Mm.
content, you become settled, you become used to the routine, again, because there are little people involved, there are children involved. So we get used to the routine of going to work, coming home,
Yeah.
preparing dinner, making baths, helping with homework, putting them to bed. And then by the time we're all done with all that, because that's another job in and of itself, then
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Now I'm tired. So now I'm showering. Now I'm going to bed. Night, honey. And then the day starts over again tomorrow. That can become a little boring after a while. So the
Yeah.
house really isn't on fire. The house needs another spark to get on fire, right? So
Stagnant.
that, yeah, they just need to kind of find their way back to them again. If she did not love him, then we'd have another situation. There'd be another answer for this. But because they still love each other, there hasn't been any infidelity. There hasn't been anything, that causes their marriage to be rocky. She's just a little bored right now. She's just a little unhappy right now because there's no spice there. So let's spice things up.
Okay. All right. Hey, Corey from Milwaukee. God bless you. Glad to see you on tonight. Hey, guys, if you have a question for the doctor, relationship question, any kind of question, send your email to the selfcheckout show@gmail.com. We will get your question on the show, on the air, and let Dr. Nancy answer your question for you. I told y'all, see how she put that stuff? She good at what she do, right? Yeah. But anyway, we are moving on. And before we get to our main topic tonight, which has really caused a stir on social media. I mean, whew, we want everybody that can and will tonight, if you will share a simple $12 gift with WTM. Why $12? I'll tell you why $12. My mom, if you guys don't know, my mom sells butter cookies, of which, of course, Dr. Nancy has on the show with us tonight. Apostle RJ, if you're watching, I want you to know that I have your cookies in the freezer as you commanded.
And you better put
um,
Melanie's in there because we forgot about that.
Got about mail. Okay.
And you
Yep.
need
She
to go
went out of
to your
town. That's
mom's
why.
house and grab mine.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to.
You're in
Mama,
trouble
you
now.
watching? We gonna have to take care of this. Uh, why $12? Because yesterday, anytime my mom does cookies, I have to bring them to church because if I don't, they'll kill me. And Charlotte says she got hers too. If I don't bring them to church, they will kill me. And Kristen, my pastor's daughter, mind you, is all the way. She lives all the way in Los Angeles, California. But whenever cookies are around, she wants her cookies. So I texted her and said, "Hey, I got cookies." She said, "Give them to my folks. Tell them to send them to me." So they literally are going to mail her cookies because she not playing. She's serious. She want her cookies. And so she paid mom for her cookies, and Dr. Kurt paid me for her cookies too. I didn't know that she had paid mom directly. So Dr. Kurt gave me $12 yesterday. And when I found out that she paid for the cookies, I texted Dr. Kurt this morning. I said, "Hey, I owe you $12. Chrissy paid for her cookies. I didn't know, blah, blah, blah." He said, "No worries. Keep that for a Monday night offering." I said,
Oh,
"Well, thank you, Dr. Kurt. That was nice." So I want you guys to follow in my apostles' footsteps tonight and be a blessing to WTM with a $12 gift. And the ways to do that are scrolling across your screen right now. Of course, shout out to Drs. Kurt and Dr. Linda
woo
Stennis, my
woo.
apostles. We love them dearly.
Do.
So, guys, on to our main topic. And our main question tonight is, should people in relationships or marriages split everything down the middle, 50-50? We get this because Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade split everything 50-50, and most people don't see a problem with it. But the internet was debating on whether or not it's right that the couple split their bills down the middle, but the arrangement is one Gabrielle Union seems to be okay with. So then why does anybody else care? Let me give you a little background. And in their household, her and her husband, Dwayne Wade, formerly of the Miami Heat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They have a revelation. They came up with this revelation that got people in an uproar. Now, this information was shared in an interview that she did with Noah Callahan on his Bloomberg original series, Idea Generation. He asked the 50-year-old star when the moment came where she felt that work was consistently coming in and therefore she felt a sense of security.
Mm.
According to her, that moment hasn't come after around 30 years in the industry. Get that. She said that she still doesn't feel secure after being in the industry, movie and TV, for 30 years. She said, I struggle with that. I think I just have more responsibilities for my money. So I get nervous, like, oh my God, that movie didn't open well. What does that mean? Am I going to have to hold everybody up? And everyone's like, it's coming. Calm down. I'm trying to find peace in the journey and not using my anxiety or scarcity mindset to be my engine, which is hard. Now, in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, there's always this gorilla on your back that's like, you better work. You want to sleep in? Somebody eat. It's hard to let that go, she says. So I'm working on it. Why people were in an uproar, I don't know. I do know because I looked it up today. Gabrielle Union's net worth is about 40 million as of this year.
Okay.
Dwayne Wade's net worth is
Huge.
about 170 million
Yeah.
this year.
Huge. Yeah.
So, from what I saw on Twitter, it's kind of mixed, but it's mostly women saying, yeah, Gab, your man worth 170 million. Why y'all splitting everything down the middle? Like, oh boy. So I kind of I kind of can see where they would get that from. And then you have other people saying, well, the husband is supposed to provide for that house. So we're getting mixed reviews. I don't exactly know how to feel about it. But I think that whatever works for your household, it's okay with me. I can't run two houses. You run your house the way you want to. If you all are comfortable, regardless as to who makes the most, if you're comfortable with sharing everything, sharing all the bills and stuff, as long as that works for you, work it. Um, and then you also have to factor in, as she said in this interview, that the both of them, and I'm sure we all know that because they're filthy rich, $210 million combined, the both of them together, they're taking care of their families and other households. So I don't know. Crystal, what you got?
Well, what I'm gonna say is everything ain't for everybody. And a lot of us like to put our noses in scenarios and situations where it doesn't belong. We don't know what the agreement was at the beginning of the marriage. We don't know what the agreement may have changed to. He may have paid it at first, and then some things may have happened, and now my money is being stretched a little further. But if that's the agreement and they happy with it, I applaud them because they seem to be happy. The kids happy, they happy, they taking care of the other households. Everything's running smooth. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen any money flaws with either one of them. Now, would that work for me? That may not be my agreement. We might split it a little different, but that's working for them. I don't
Yeah,
think there's
both
any
of my
set
hosts.
way for your household to run. It's based on the two people.
I don't think there is either. Let me interrupt both of my co-hosts. Thank you for your gift of $12. John Stennis says, "I will sow my 12 cents tonight
Ooh, friend.
and watch it multiply." Hey, John.
You
Good
can receive
evening,
the increase.
Denise. Oh God, he's being a creep. Yeah. Good evening, Denise. Good evening, Deborah. Thank you, Dr. Nancy, for your gift. Charlotte said, "That's rich folks' business." It is. Yeah, they are definitely rich. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I want to hear from you, Dr. Nancy. People, there's so many comments. I wish I could just really share a whole bunch of them, but I remember one in particular, like why y'all putting y'all business out there and all that kind of stuff. And that's a whole thing because if you wanted it to stay private, it wouldn't be on social media.
Correct.
Okay. So when you put something on social
Correct.
media,
It's open.
it's no longer private. It's
Correct.
public and it's
It's public.
open to public opinion.
Yeah.
Correct.
So now we have all of these people commenting, millions of people commenting, and then her response to the critics on social media, she then made an Instagram post being like kind of, it would appear that she was kind of unbothered, but she clearly wasn't all the way unbothered because she said she's singing a little song. "I'm going to see my man and he matched my energy 50-50." She said.
Oh,
I said, okay, yeah, yeah, she a little bit bothered
yeah,
by
she's a
this
little
whole
about.
thing. Dr. Nancy, let me hear you.
I would definitely agree with Crystal. It's a married couple's business how that household is ran, and I agree with Crystal as well. This is a question we get year after year after year after year. Whenever we have our marriage getaways with couples, and whenever we're discussing in our marriage group here on Facebook as well, is how or what's is there a right way or a wrong way to handle finances? And I'll say again, and we've said time and time again, that it's up to the couple.
That's
Whatever you all discuss and agree on prior to the marriage, that's what you agree and that's how you proceed. Now, if during the course of the marriage you need to make some changes, tweak a few things, then again, as long as you all have agreed on that, that's up to you all. If they want to do 50-50, what's wrong with 50-50?
Right.
Long gone are the days where we can have one person handling and or maintaining the household like it once used to be. The cost of living has gone up, children have gone up, and the cost of children have gone up, right?
Yeah.
School has gone up, food has gone up. And so really, ladies, if we get married to our husbands and we just believe that it's only their responsibility to provide for us, and let's look at that word even as such.
Yeah.
Provide isn't just finances.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody always thinks that it's for the man to go out, get the check, bring the check in, and take care of all of the bills in the house. But provision is so much more than finances.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to provide love. I need you to provide a listening ear. I need you to provide some strength, some peace, some comfort. I need you to provide conversation, communication. Provision is so much more than just finances. And it's sad that we live in a world right now that when we begin to talk about provision and or prosperity, the only thing that we look at is finances. The only thing that we look at is we focus on money. And there's so much more to those words. If we only look at it as money, then we're shallow ourselves.
Yeah.
We're shallow ourselves. So I need you to provide someone. I want to laugh. Provide me a few good jokes. I want to travel. Provide me some chances and some opportunities to go travel. I want to be in a hot air balloon. Provide me a good time in a hot air balloon or a good father in the lives of my children. So provision is so much more than just money. And sometimes we have to break old routines again because we're in a world that's progressive and make adjustments as necessary. Because one person, male or female, really can't do it anymore. We've got to come together.
Yeah.
The Bible even says that the two become one flesh. That means we come together. We bring together what we have and we build from there.
Put that comment back on the screen. Charlotte said, "I think it's how you're taught or what you see. People say they saw Big Mama not working, taking care of the home, and Papa was just bringing home the bacon. um, that was the old way. That was the old way. That man would get out, go to work. The mama take care of the house, take care of the kids.
Yeah.
And according to one of them
And that
old,
was pre-education too. Let's talk about it.
yeah,
That was
I
pre-education.
agree.
Okay.
I agree
So we got to
because
put things in perspective when we start looking at the old time way. And let's just be honest, because I ask couples this all the time too. Okay, let's just say you want your husband to be the sole provider. Great. Are you prepared to live in a one bedroom? And I'm not talking about an apartment either. I'm talking
Uh,
about a single bedroom. Are you
one bed,
prepared
one room. A
yeah,
lot of times people always want to fall back on things like this. And to a degree, okay, I know what you saw, but what is it that you want for yourself? What are you building with this man
How
for
was we built?
yourself?
Yes.
Because you can't be big mama and granddaddy.
Mm-mm.
That's not you. You're not
And
gonna
the
have
kids,
13
it was
kids.
10 kids, 6 to 12 kids
She
in
having a
one
baby every
bed.
year. She having a baby
yeah.
every year until it ends. You're not
Are we
doing
doing
that.
that now? No. And everybody want a bedroom, and everybody want a bed, and everybody want a bike,
Yeah,
and everybody want. They couldn't do that back then.
they could not
So
do
let's
that.
weigh it all together. Let's put this thing together and make it make sense. The math ain't mathing like that no more.
No.
Tanya said, I love to laugh with my husband.
See?
Hashtag prices. Hey, T, got a birthday this week. I believe it is
Happy
Friday.
birthday,
Happy
Tanya.
I remember her
birthday.
birthday because I remember us being a month apart. So happy birthday to you. And she also says, or are you prepared for him to go on, you,
To
mm,
give you an
give you
allowance
an allowance to
mm-hmm,
go to Walmart?
for a dress. No.
No.
See,
And Tanya being nice with the Walmart, because trust me, you're gonna find
facts,
yourself at the nearest
Thrift
Goodwill.
store. You're gonna be at a
facts.
thrift store.
I
Hmm.
I kind of agree with what Crystal said. That yes, you saw when you were a kid, you saw your mom being a housewife. You saw daddy go out and make the money. But I don't care. Two incomes, especially nowadays, two
It's always
incomes are
better than one.
always better than one.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I always thought, just from visually, not from someone verbally telling me this is what it was. Oh, my daddy take care of everything. This is what he does. Until my mama broke it down, I said, "Oh, y'all putting money together? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
he just not paying." So it
Mm-hmm.
was already established. So I
Yeah.
never thought that there was going to be a scenario where I'm going to get into a marriage and you're going to financially. I mean, unless you
Right.
rich and that's the agreement, but it's a
Correct.
lot that comes with that. Just like Dr.
Right.
Nancy said, you're not just in the house and he giving you a black card and you running around doing whatever. It's
Nope.
a lot that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
A
Are
whole
you ready
lot.
for that weight? Because
And
there's
even
a
like
thing on
Crystal
your
said,
side called
we seen
submission.
our parents working. We seen
That's
our
right.
parents working. My dad would work, let's just like my mom did. My dad brought home the check, gave it to my mom. My mom gave my dad the allowance. That's what their agreement was. And my mom made sure all the bills
Yeah.
were taken care of. So, I didn't even see a day and age where one person was in the household
Taking
providing.
care of the whole
My
house.
parents did that thing together, as did Crystal's parents. So, again,
I'm
we
just,
can't, we can't
I
have that
Kimmy,
talk.
hey
it's
Kimmy,
confusion.
she
Hey,
said
Kim.
Kimmy said what worked back then don't work now.
No,
You
ma'am.
actually need two incomes nowadays. Ain't that the truth?
It's the truth.
It is.
Gabrielle Union goes on to say, we as women live in a very interesting time where many of us celebrate the fact that we are independent, that we can provide well for ourselves due to the fact that we're making a lot more money due to
True.
our efforts to increase our education and climb up our respective career ladders. So there are many of us who don't want to be fully reliant upon a man, even
Mhm.
if we're in a relationship with him.
True.
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 We see the value in partnership where funds are allocated in a certain way, as opposed to pressure being on one person to handle it all.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So there's that.
Yep.
So she got her own money, he got his own money. And so she's saying that she does not fully want to uh, depend upon him
Yeah.
to take care of her and her family because she got her own.
Mm-hmm.
And I
And
think
with
that
celebrities, like she said, Pastor Will, when they're taking care of their other families and whatnot, again, that's something that they've agreed on. I'm sure he's doing the same thing,
Yeah.
taking care of some of his family as
of
well.
course,
And is it fair to put that type of pressure on the other person.
Yeah.
No. So again, it seems like to me, like they've got an understanding. We're going to take care of these bills 50-50, and what in our household 50-50. That means they're both bringing in to the household and they're paying out together. Now, outside of that, once our house is taken care of, then our added family or added responsibility that we said yes to as we become celebrities, that's, that's your responsibility because I didn't agree to that. And that over there is your responsibility because I didn't agree to that.
Yeah.
And he has a lot more to take care of. He
does.
He has a mother. He has siblings. He probably has other extended family. All Gabrielle talks about really is her mom. There's not a whole lot to take care of on her end. So you have to take that into consideration. It's not really $200 million that he really got.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that's going out the door.
Kim says, and that's a lot of stress on one person. You got to work together to achieve bigger things in life, together moving your family forward.
Correct.
Agree with that 100%. I want to present this to you, ladies. There are, okay, we know how it happened back in the day. Fine, well and fine. But there are ladies today who have that mentality that says, if he can't take care of me, he ain't the one. And I don't, people who don't work bother me. Because what you doing all day?
Not only that, if something goes awry, what are you going to do when this man packs up and says, get out?
Well, look what Ayana just said. What if somebody dies?
I don't want to be fully dependent on my husband to take care of this family and house without me having financial input or my own money. What will you do? This is what I'm talking about. What will you do if, God forbid, one spouse dies or divorce? Then you're handicapped yourself, letting one person do all the providing.
Yeah,
this is the type of mentality that I'm speaking of.
Yeah,
you should not have this. Oh, I'm just gonna lay back and let him take care of me. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. My man gonna do this. But what happened if he decided he up and gone, or if, like she said, God forbid, he passes away? You have nothing,
and you have no knowledge.
And that's really an uneducated person. Let's just be honest. And I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. That's really just an uneducated young woman and or young man, because it can be either of the two. When you are solely reliant on the other person. Because again, anything can happen. And so to walk around just expecting somebody else to take care of you is not fair. Is disrespectful to them and disrespectful to you as well.
That's right.
Deborah says, seems like the two operating as one. Looks like their relationship or marriage is based on communication, understanding, and a mutual respect for one another is the way it should be. Totally agree with that. And I want to go back, Deborah, to what the three of us have already stated. If one income works for your house, that's what y'all got going on. If it's working, do your thing. But I'm telling you that two incomes is always better than one thing. You can never have too much of
is money.
Money.
Amen.
And socks. But we're talking about money tonight.
Or cups.
Okay.
Oh, did you see my new cup?
Or shoes. Or shoes.
Or shoes.
Shoes, yeah. I got a new mug. Listen. You cannot have too much money. So I don't, maybe I'm not supposed to understand the young lady that's comfortable without having anything and just dependent upon a man, especially if that man is not your husband.
Oh, you know what I thought about just now? And then Ayana's post is really great. Who was that? And I don't want to take this to church, but a prime example was, I forgot. Wasn't it Bishop Brown? It was Bishop Brown, Archbishop Roy Brown, who passed, and his wife.
Oh, yes.
They
kicked her out of that house.
Prime
I believe
example,
they put her out.
She had not
allegedly
worked. Right. It was conversation that was going to happen. She had not worked. She was reliant on him because that's how they had done it for so long. And of course, he was an older gentleman, and
Yeah.
she went along with it. God bless her, but it was horrible for her during that transition
And
and
they
during
had
that
been
time and trying to
married
find her
for
way.
many, 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 many years. But he passed away, and they got her up out that house.
Yeah.
That was so unfortunate,
Without
so
even
sad.
to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, so you all would have to fact check, but even without type of pension or severance or
Yeah.
monthly stipend or anything, she was like just
She was evicted, pretty much.
Evicted, yeah.
Yeah.
and had to
So,
figure it out.
so that's a whole nother thing right there. You better have your name on something. Y'all hear me? Hear me?
You better have your
You
name on a lot of things.
listen. You better have. I listen to a lot of times when I'm getting
And
off
know a
work.
few
I listen to
numbers.
I
B
know
one
that's
hundred
right.
three, and they have this guy. Uh, he comes on in the middle of the day, and he talks about people that are losing their houses or whatever. And in many cases, people are on there because somebody died and they lived there forever. It
Mm-hmm.
could be a spouse, it could be a child, and but their name is not on anything,
Nothing. Mm-mm.
Crazy.
and they legally
Mm-hmm.
it's not
Have no right.
yours.
It's
Yeah.
not yours.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all wisen up,
Y'all gotta get
wisen up.
smart.
Make sure your name is on something, and make sure you have. Man, look, we living in a day and time where scandal after scandal after scandal is popping up everywhere in these
True.
relationships and in these marriages. And a lot of these men and women, it's on both sides, the scandal is. A lot of these folks who are victims of said scandal choose to disconnect from their partner. They're
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm.
They can't deal with it for whatever reason. So this is why it's important for you to have something of your own.
Yes.
Because we I don't want nothing bad to happen to nobody, nobody's marriage, nobody's relationship. But stuff happens, y'all. And if you
Education is
have
key.
nothing, huh?
Education is key. And I'm not speaking of degrees or going to school. I'm speaking of having clear understanding and clarity on what you have rights to. Should anything
Yeah.
happen to either one of you, be it insurances, and
Yes.
not just that your name is on it is a great start, but make sure that it's enforceable
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
current, which means that whatever
Yeah.
premiums need to be paid, they are paid,
That's
right?
right.
That
That's right.
if should something happen to the other person, where does this go? Does it automatically, go
Come to
turn
me.
over to me,
That's
or
right.
does it go to someone else? You have to have all of that stuff in line and in place. And again, making sure that paperwork is current. That names haven't been changed. Hello,
Oh,
somebody.
nothing has been amended.
Huh?
Hmm.
I'm just trying to
Yeah.
help the people
Yeah. Because
because
And look
to
at
be
them insurance
honest,
papers. Pull them on out.
that's
look at them.
probably the agreement between a lot of celebrities. They just don't come on social media and tell you what it is.
Correct.
Because a lot
Correct.
of these celebrities, they're not sitting back waiting for their husbands or their wives, whoever the celebrity is, to pay the bills. You think Angela Bassett and Courtney Cox are not splitting and making
Courtney
sure that everything
Vance.
comes together as Courtney
Yep.
Vance, right? Come together
And
as
some of
one.
them just
Because her
aren't
and
vocal
Courtney
about it.
Cox, that ain't gonna work.
You are right, because that's a woman. But you know what I'm
No,
saying.
I was messing with you.
But yeah, and both of them are successful actors and actresses.
Absolutely.
And
But
that's
there's
why
an
they're
Absolutely.
putting
agreement.
that's why they're putting all that paperwork in place. Y'all already know it. I can't even
Yeah,
think of prenuptials.
prenuptial
Lord, I was
agreement.
gonna call it
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything is already in place before they say I do.
Yeah.
Sign on the dotted line.
But
Look,
prenups, we look at them as a bad situation, but
Mm-mm.
really they're not initially in the beginning. And again, those can be amended as well as you go along in your
Yeah,
marriage and as you all begin to trust more and see what's happening more. But again, prenuptials need to be put in place. Life insurance plans need to be put in place. Things have to be put in place. Like Deborah said, set your house in order.
Your
Yes,
house in
Charlotte,
order.
because people change those documents.
They
And
will.
Set it in order.
we'll change them and you don't know nothing.
Know where they are, have a specific place. Here we go. Back in the day, mom and them had a vault at the bank. They go to the bank and go in their little vaults.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that no more. So you better get yourself a lock
We
box
can
in
call
your
it a little
home
safety deposit box.
and
That's
put
what
it
it
in there. Yeah, the
Safety
safety deposit.
deposit box.
Put it in
is.
put it in there, and know what's current, know what's going on, and every so often check up on the paperwork again, just to make sure that statute of limitations on anything haven't ran out, that nothing has changed,
That's
and
right.
everything is current and up to date.
Look, these celebrities, you gotta be careful. Bless you.
Thank you.
I thought about this old movie that I saw, Mommy Dearest. I'm sure
Oh
everybody
God.
has probably watched that movie.
Yeah.
I've watched it
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
thousand times. Of course, Joan Crawford was the it girl in
Yeah.
Hollywood for many decades, but things kind of dwindled down. And when she passed away, you remember her children were at that
Yeah.
reading of that will, and she left them.
Left it to the
Nothing.
dog, didn't she?
Yeah, I think so.
But she had married multiple men that left her nothing. These men that passed away, and her name
See?
was on nothing. So she would
See?
just have to
Mhm.
marry to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yeah,
And when she
yeah,
got that last husband, he took care of her.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-mm.
And it did, Mom. Uh what my mom was talking about is changing of documents. It did happen, but like she said, she found out in time. Because listen, let me say this. It's some
Ooh,
trifling people
And there are.
in
Mm-hmm.
this world.
There are. There
yeah,
are. There
It's
are.
yeah.
Yeah.
some trifling folks in this world. That's why you can't let everybody know your social security number.
Cannot.
Mm. But
Nobody
that's a
knows
whole
now.
nother story. But yes,
I don't
it
say
did
anything
happen to my mom, but she called it in time. Charlotte says, "Listen, this lady I worked with died and left her.
significant other.
Thank you. Everything. Uh, okay, let me say this in Charlotte's voice. Left her significant other everything, baby."
Everything, baby.
Everything.
Her family knew her social and contacted our company and was able to get everything. Only left her significant other with a truck. Only she had millions. See, this is what I'm talking about.
No.
See,
What?
and unfortunately, if you're just a significant other without your
You don't have
name
no
Say
right.
it.
on no
Come on.
paper,
Come
Right.
on.
you get nothing.
Listen, you lay with them or lay with her for 10, 12, 15, 20, 25 years, 30. Because we know
You
it
better lock
happened.
in. You better
And then
lock
Oh
they
in.
yeah,
die. And guess what? You sitting there looking like the girl from Color Purple.
I'm
Name not
trying to
even
tell
in
you.
the obituary.
Name
All
not
you get
even
is,
Significant other.
listen, special friend.
as a
You
special
better say
friend.
it.
That's all
Mm-mm.
you get in the obituary.
No. Mm-mm.
But that's the same thing. Tina Turner, who just recently passed,
Yep.
$225 million she had. That was her worth. She left 125 million to her husband and the rest to his family.
To who?
His family.
Say that
Now
again.
you telling me something I didn't know that.
She
You see what I said to who?
she had a net worth of $225 million. She left 125 million to him, and then the remaining money went to her in-laws, his family.
Wait a
Now
minute, she
what
has
I do
children.
know
She has an
is
older son that
she
committed
does.
suicide years
Yep.
back.
Two of her
Then
kids
she
died.
had, but he had a wife,
Yep.
and she has grandchildren.
And
That
she
she does not know.
And then she had a younger son who just recently died, probably within the last year and a half, 2 years or so. They found him not breathing on the sidewalk, but not one dime was left to anybody on Tina Turner's side.
Mm-hmm.
see that's why she's my
And
best friend, y'all, because she knows all of the information.
and I read that she
Yeah,
has grandchildren that she never got to know. And the article made it seem like she wasn't interested in knowing them.
but she was.
Yeah, I gotta send it to you. It's some good stuff out there,
Mhm.
y'all.
She
It's
originally told the young lady not to marry her son because she was afraid that he was going to turn into Ike and be abusive,
Wow.
but he did not.
now look at that trauma in her after all those years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now that's a good question, Val. Can they contest that? Being
It
the
depends on how
well,
she left
no,
it. It
I
depends
It
on
don't
how
depends
she
on
left
what
it.
she wrote. Yeah.
I
And
don't
Yeah.
she's
think
in another country. So it's different laws.
yeah,
It's
in
different laws.
Switzerland, yeah,
Yep.
Hmm.
yeah.
It's different
And
laws,
I
and
think
that's going to be
that
an international fight, if at anything. But again,
yeah,
it's going to depend on how she left it. And I would think that Tina Turner, being who she was,
It's
yeah.
in place.
it was
It's in
still
order.
right.
It's in
And if
order. And
that's that last if that's that person's last will and testament,
yeah.
Yeah,
her wishes are going to be honored.
yeah,
And I'm sure she had it sealed up pretty good. That
yeah.
man, when she was sick the original time and needed a kidney, that's who gave it to her. Was her
Her
husband.
husband.
So that's sealed. And y'all
Yeah,
will
that's a
run out of
done
money
deal
before
right
their
there.
family runs out of money trying to
Hmm.
get money.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's a done
Mhm.
deal. Um, the publicist who did the article that we're speaking of on Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade came from Essence magazine.
Okay.
He says, so while it might sound crazy for a man who has done as well as Dwayne Wade to not cover all of the financial needs of his household, Gabrielle Union is not someone out here wondering how she's going to keep the lights on. Granted, she's not
Exactly.
confident, as she noted, to just assume that she's made it, to kick up her feet and assume the money will always roll in. But she's good.
Hmm.
And most importantly, she's happy with her
Yeah.
husband and what they have decided to do together for their family. That being said, we don't have to get it. We don't have to like it.
No.
But their arrangement seems to be a harmonious one for them, and that is all that matters. So when these celebrities out here putting their information out in these social media streets, yeah, I really don't care because they ain't putting out $1 in
In
my
my
account.
pocket.
So
Not
I don't
one.
care. Ayana
And
Not
if
says,
Gabrielle
and make
and if
sure,
Gabrielle goes destitute, don't think that he's not gonna pick up that slack.
exactly.
oh,
He's
Exactly.
gonna pick it
without a
up.
doubt,
Yeah.
Period. Period. So
without
we
a
don't we don't
doubt,
have no worries.
We don't have to worry.
without a doubt. Ayana says, and make sure when you do your policy, you get a contingent in case the beneficiary dies because folks divorce or die and don't change the
So
paperwork
true.
and they ex get ooh
Yeah, that's why you have
Yeah.
to make sure, and you have
ooh
to check it and make sure that it's all in place. You
Yeah.
have to dot your I's, cross your T's.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
well folks listen
Deborah said legally you have no rights as a significant other. And again, Deborah, you have to remember that you're speaking here. Every state has their own laws.
That's right.
The common law is legal some places, common law isn't legal other places, or
That's
yeah
right.
that's
recognized in
true
some places and is not recognized in others. How long you have to be married to someone before you receive anything or before you can make claims to things is different state by state. And again, internationally, there are different laws. The United States recognizes some set, and I'm sure Switzerland or Sweden, wherever she was,
Switzerland.
recognizes something different. So again, there's a lot at play, a lot of layers, I like to say, when it comes down to that situation. Now, in the
Absolutely.
States, you're right. The significant other usually doesn't have any rights to anything.
All you get is special friend in your obituary. That's it.
That's
Nothing
it.
else. Nothing else. You
That's
gotta
it.
sit down and eat chicken like everybody else.
That's right.
And you better hope the family like you, otherwise you're not riding the family car.
I'm trying to tell you right now, you ain't getting nothing.
Not a thing.
So listen, the main thing that I wanted to draw from this uh tonight about them is well, a few things. Number one, mind your business. And when I say that, I mean just that. Mind your business. There is business in your household
Yes.
that you need to tend to.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Check.
right.
Look, somebody needs to hear this tonight. Check them papers tonight.
Check them. Check
Make
them.
sure they right. Go up under in between your mattress. and pull them papers out
Pull
and
them
check
out.
the names on them. Make sure they're right. Make sure everything's up to date. Make sure you have the right beneficiary. Okay. Make sure all that stuff is paid for, called up, current,
That's right.
because you don't know what's gonna happen. Charlotte says
Charlotte.
she.
I cannot. She said, I checks bad all the time.
You better check it.
Yes, Lord. And look, if you common law, as they call it,
Listen,
I'm
it
trying
ain't
to
so
tell you
common
right
no more.
now, you better get you a ring.
You better go lock in.
You better get a ring and some
Listen,
paperwork.
y- get you a ring
Put a
and some
ring on it.
paperwork, because
Make sure you get
otherwise,
that paperwork.
Yes.
otherwise, all you get is chicken and spaghetti and potato salad.
Would you stop
That's all you gonna
Wait,
get.
with a
years
Hawaiian roll?
ago when Shawnee and
Hawaiian
Shaq
roll.
Overcooked green
divorced.
beans.
See how y'all act. When
What
Shawnee and
happened
Shaq
with Shawnee and
divorced.
Shaq?
Look, Charlotte
The
said it too.
whole
And green beans.
when Shawnee and Shaq divorced, he met her. She was an exec for CBS. She already knew how to work and make money. She was
Okay.
never intended upon sitting down and letting him take care of her. However,
Mhm. Yeah.
he handed out money and she stacked that money.
She listened. She was a
She
smart
put that
girl.
money in a bank account and had 2 or 3 businesses on the side. And
Yep.
then, of course, eventually got basketball wives.
Mm-hmm.
So when they divorced, it
She
didn't
was
matter
already
if he
set.
gave her anything. I already stacked all the money you've been giving me for the last
Yeah.
13
Yeah.
years.
So she
And I
didn't
got 4 kids,
Yeah.
even though they already
Yeah.
had prenuptials and paperwork in place. So she got a pretty penny.
and the
But
baby
I
was
got this
his.
too.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Yeah.
this too.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
So get your business. Deborah said best early. Get your house in order.
Get it in
Get your
order.
house in order.
Now, before we go, I was a couple of things I want to say. Uh, Number one, don't forget, guys, if you can, so a $12 gift into the ministry tonight. We would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Number two, next Monday, we'll be back. I think Dr. Nancy will not be with us next week.
No.
So Crystal and I, we got to carry the torch. We'll make you proud, Dr. Nancy.
And if I
We're
could
gonna do our
slide
best.
in, look, if I could just slide over there.
We're gonna do
Because
our best.
we're gonna be talking about, and thank you, my viewers, our viewers, thank you all so much. You all let us know that we have good topics, and we want to keep bringing these topics to you. And next week will be a good one as well. We're gonna talk about blended families. We're gonna talk about the step parents and discipline when it comes to the children. Oh man, that's gonna be good. You guys don't miss
Look at
that
this one
next
here.
week.
Look at this one here.
I'm gonna
Woo,
have to
yes,
probably
I'm
get in
ready.
on around third base, maybe.
Y'all, I got 15 minutes. Now let's
Get on
go.
in there around third base.
I am ready for that one because, uh, you know, again, relationships have so many layers, so many
Yes.
facets that we cannot cover everything. Because there's always something to discuss, always a topic to discuss when it comes to variety of relationships.
Yeah.
So before I finish tonight, I just want to read this comment. Kim said they better get that paperwork in order. I ran into a lady at the Social Security, and she was there to receive her husband's Social Security. They hadn't been together for years.
Well, as long as they were
Oh,
still married.
Then shit should
oh,
be good.
oh.
And people don't
Okay,
divorce sometimes.
Huh. And they get
okay.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to all of you guys that are sewing into the ministry. God knows, we appreciate you all. We really, really do. Um, Now, I want to end tonight with what I call a word for the widow. That's very, very important to me. And not just widows, widowers as well. It's important to me, especially because my mother is a widow.
Yes.
Mhm.
And, you know, we were talking earlier about, having things in order and stuff because you never know what may happen. Your spouse may pass away. And of course, my dad did pass away and left my mom, you know, virtually alone, without her husband, without a significant other who they had been together for so long. Um, First thing I want to say that I think it's important that you take as much time as you need to grieve properly, to get your bearings about you again, to get yourself
Definitely.
back on your feet again. It's important that you take the time that you need and learn how to live again. Um, and it's okay after a while, okay to get back out there in the dating pool.
Hmm.
It's all right. No matter how old you are, how young you are, when when you're ready
Yeah.
to date again after losing someone, even after losing a relationship. They don't necessarily have to die. I'm talking about the widow, but I
Mhm.
do want to just throw this as a side note. If you are breaking up, if you have broken up with someone, I want you to take your time before you jump into another relationship,
100%.
because why why would you get into another relationship and you're not over the one you just broke up with, and you bring that baggage into? That's a whole nother show.
It's a good
Hmm.
topic too.
That's
Yeah,
another
Yeah.
show.
you open the door.
Write that down. We're gonna have to talk about that. But to the widow and the widower, we want you to take as much time as you need, do what you need to do to start living again. Please know that life can happen again for you. You can be
Yes.
happy again. Our widows, and I'm speaking especially right now to the church, okay? Because all my folks, all y'all on here, majority of y'all go to church anyway. If you don't, you should. But especially to the church, let me say that our widows, um, they don't just need our prayers. They need more than that.
Hmm.
They need our support, not just sympathy. They don't need our pity because they're not handicapped. As such, they only need our support till they find their footing again. And the
Yes.
main thing to do is show them love.
Yes.
Do you not know that it is the church's responsibility
Take
Hmm.
care.
to not just take care of their pastors,
That's right.
but to take care of the widow? It's
That's the
biblical.
word. That's the word.
Here's a couple of things you can do, a couple of different things you can do to support widows. Number one, you can give them words of encouragement. Okay. Number two, you can financially support them. Scripture for that. 1 Timothy 5:16. If any believing man or woman has widows, let them relieve them, and do not let the church be burdened, that it may relieve those who are really widows.
Yeah.
Most of the challenges that widows face are directly related to finance. This is because what two people's money used to manage to solve, now it's only one person and the same amount of money to solve them. And well, now they have 50% less than what they had to make it on. And sometimes the widow, we don't know, but I believe that sometimes many widows contributing, or should I say, wasn't contributing before, because, like we talked about from the old days, she was just a housewife. The husband made all the money. So now there's no more husband. So
Hmm.
now what do we do? Do we just leave the widow out there? No. Church, it is your responsibility
Yes.
to see after the widow.
Yes.
Praying for them is good. They need it. They need that support. But they also need food. We need to make sure that their rents are paid. Come on. Everybody talks about ministry. Ministry this, ministry to ministry, ministry. But what happened to the ministry to the widow?
Yeah.
I challenge you this week. I want to challenge you, church going, tongue talking, Bible thumping folks, to find a widow to sow into this week. Just because. Because what? Because it's our job.
And we don't care if you church if you tongue talking, just as long as you church going.
Well, yeah, there. Yeah, okay. But I'm just saying. I want you to find a widow this week or a widower
Uh huh.
to sow into, to check on. Hey, I'm just checking on you to make sure you're okay. Do you not
Yes.
know that could go a really long way with that person?
Yeah.
Offer a word of prayer. Offer a word of encouragement. Hey, what are you eating tonight? Let me stop by and bring you dinner tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Those things. You want to talk about ministry, people? That's ministry.
Yes.
So
That's
I challenge each of you this week to find a widow or a widower and do something nice for them. I promise you as I sit here, God will see that. And if you do it from sincereness of heart and purity of heart, God will bless you for doing that. He honors his word, and taking care of widows is in the word of God. So we love you guys, and we'll be back next week without Dr. Nancy
Oh.
to talk. She might try to slide through y'all. She might
Yeah,
try
she
to
can't
slide.
miss that now. That blended family. She got to get in there. She got to get in there. She got to
we
work.
that would be good, right?
Yes.
Because we are going to be talking about blended families and step parents and how discipline for the children look when it comes to a step parent. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back next Monday night on the show. For Crystal, for Dr. Nancy, I'm Pastor Will. This is the Self Checkout Show where we take an honest look at what's in our hearts, minds, and spirits. We'll see you guys next Monday night, 7 o'clock. Good night,
night. Good
everybody.
night, everyone.